Hello and welcome to the channel. Despite the Supreme Court ruling on Friday last week, Nigerians are still suffocating from the cash crunch that has swept the country like a tsunami wave. It seems cash has completely vanished from the financial industry as various banks across the country yesterday were not dispensing either at their banking halls or via ATM machines. The federal government is yet to act or comply with the apex court body ruling as they had gone radio silent. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Naira scarcity lingers despite Supreme Court judgment. Nigerians' hope of having more access to cash was dashed yesterday. The banks had no improvement in the cash allocation they have been getting from the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) despite last Friday's Supreme Court verdict on the recirculation of all old Naira notes. The nation gathered that the situation was not helped by the federal government's inability to get the certified true copy (CTC) of the judgment. It was learned that the government must obtain the CTC before it can direct the CBN to comply with the judgment. The government's lawyers were cited at the Supreme Court in Abuja trying to get the CTC. Before the lawyers arrived at the apex court, many Nigerians who thronged commercial banks with the hope of making withdrawals left disappointed as they were not paid. None of the banks visited by the Nation reporter in the Central Business District of Abuja and Wholesale Zones 2 and 3 paid the old and new Naira notes through their counters and automated teller machines, ATMs. A few residents of Lagos were however lucky as they were paid old notes across the counters and ATMs. One of the government's lawyers said the federal government has not enforced the judgment because it is yet to receive the CTC. There is no way the government will act on the spur of the moment. After obtaining the CTC, the government will isolate the orders of the court before directing the CBN and other statutory agencies to comply. The lawyer was, however, optimistic that in the next 24 hours or 48 hours, all the parties will get a copy of the judgment. He added that it was preemptive for people to assume that the government has not carried out the order of the court. The plaintiff's lawyers were also in the court expecting the CTC in order to determine their next line of action, including contempt proceeding if the judgment is not enforced. A counsel to one of the plaintiffs said, "It is true that we are all waiting for the CTC of the judgment. I think the federal government is only trying to be technical because the Supreme Court's judgment was loud and clear. We will give them the benefit of doubt, but the government has no choice but to abide by the rule of law. On our part, as soon as we get the CTC, we will register it before a federal high court to enable us to file contempt proceedings against the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, son, and the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele. We are on standby for contempt proceedings if the federal government ignores the judgment of the Supreme Court." In Lagos, a banker who asked that his identity be veiled said he could not say when the cash scarcity would abate. "Banks don't hold money. If banks have the money, they will give it out," the banker added. The official said in normal times, banks load each ATM with an average of 8 million naira. He claimed that when he inquired from banks in 2 states about their cash position, he was told that 13 branches got only 16 million naira. The official, who confirmed that his branch paid a few customers yesterday with the whole notes, said no bank had received any directive nor cash from the CBN. Last week, the nation gathered that only about 13 million naira was released to a Lagos bank that has over 40 branches. But a Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) source told the nation that the Apex Bank was working towards alleviating the sufferings of the people. He pleaded with Nigerians to give the CBN the benefit of the doubt. A Lagos resident, Johnson Okanlawon, said 2 commercial bank branches in Iyana, Ipaja did not pay the whole notes across the counter but loaded their ATMs with both old and new notes. "I sent my sales girl to one of the banks in Iyana, Ipaja to deposit old notes. The sales girl came back to inform me that the banks had resumed payment of the old notes. We have also seen customers freely buying and selling in the old notes within our access," Okala once said. Another resident said he was paid 20,000 naira in old 500 naira denominations across the counter by a bank in Abule Egba. I was paid 20,000 naira in old 500 naira notes in the banking hall. I felt very relieved because in the past 2 weeks, I never had up to 2,000 naira cash. In fact, I was very lucky today. He smiled as he walked away from the bank premises. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. But checks across several bank branches in Ibeju, Lekki, and Victoria Island show that cash scarcity are yet to abate. At the Ibeju, Lekki branch of one of the banks, officials told customers that they had no cash to pay. We do not have the cash to pay anybody. We only attend to customers carrying out intra and interbank transfers and activation of ATM cards, one of the bank workers said. However, officials of FCMB, Polaris Bank, Access Bank, among others, said they were still waiting for the CBN directive on the matter. Meanwhile, all efforts to get the CBN to comment on the Supreme Court ruling failed as the Acting Director of Corporate Communications Department, CBN, Dr. Isa Abdul Momin, declined to comment. At the GT Bank in Olowo Ira, Lagos, several customers were seen on queues collecting the whole 500 naira notes from the bank's cashiers. However, some bank customers rejected the whole notes over fears that traders might not accept them as legal tender. A customer who simply identified himself as Benjamin said, "I came here very early and I was given number 208. I had to leave and come back and now I am still on the queue. I was expecting the queue would have stopped, but it is still there, though not as long as it was before. The annoying thing now is that they are giving only the whole 500 naira and 1000 naira notes, and I am not sure traders will accept the whole notes from me." However, several customers complained about scarcity of old notes in bank ATMs across several branches. A customer who came out of the GT Bank branch in Ojodubeja said, "I was still here last week and the ATM still dispensed new notes, even though I had to stay on a long queue to get to my turn. But now, you can see, all their ATMs are dry. None is dispensing money." At the Polaris Bank in Olowo Ira, many frustrated depositors stayed on queue and refused to leave even after the bank officials said the bank had closed for the day at 2 p.m. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.